My mom laid down the law. If anyone wants to marry me, they gotta pay $50. So my sister went around telling everyone, sure, my little brother's a bit chubby, a little dark, a little short, but honestly, he'd make a great husband. Her girlfriends heard that and absolutely lost it. Every single one of them steered clear. Until one day a clean-cut, good-looking guy showed up at the banquet hall with Su Wanro, and her girls went absolutely wild. Wait, this is the chubby, dark, short little brother you were talking about? See, Su Wanro was notorious for being obsessed with her little brother. Scared her friends would come after me, she'd been telling everyone I was short, ugly, and cheap, which meant I hadn't dated anyone since I turned 18. My adoptive parents were losing their minds. What kind of wife are you even looking for? You want to marry my precious little brother, you better love him more than I do, then we'll talk. Back then, I just buried my face in her arms, so she never saw how red I got. She had no idea she was exactly the person I was in love with. It wasn't something the world would accept, so I kept it buried deep. Until the night it all came out. The woman who had always spoiled me rotten slapped me for the very first time. You have no shame. The next day, she announced her engagement to my best friend. Don't forget to come to our wedding, and me and Jingyan. After that, I cried until there were no tears left. Then out of nowhere, a family search agency called. They'd found my biological parents. That was the moment I decided to leave. I called my bio parents on the other side of the world. Mom, Dad, I'm ready to come live with you guys. The second those words left my mouth, they burst into tears. Xiaoyu, that's wonderful. If it wasn't for that earthquake back then, we never would have been apart this long. We're coming to get you right now. Something bittersweet washed over me. I took a breath and steadied myself. Give me 2 more weeks. I still have some things to wrap up here. Once I'm done, I'll head over. Right. Silly us. The Su family raised you for so many years and your sister spoiled you like crazy since you were little. Of course you should say a proper goodbye. The mention of Su Wanro sent a small jolt through my chest. When I was 6, a massive earthquake separated me from my parents, and I ended up being placed with the Su family. The Sus were old money elite. Her parents were always caught up in work. They took me in, sure, but they weren't exactly hands-on. Honestly, it wasn't the Su family that raised me. It was Su Wanro. When I was 7 and scared of thunderstorms, she'd hold me and sing lullabies until I fell asleep. When I was 10 and eyeing my classmates' snacks and toys, she cleared out the whole corner store, spoiling me into the most envied kid around. When I was 14 and passed out at home from a fever, she ran up and down the stairs getting hot water and hand-fed me medicine bit by bit. Whatever I wanted, she always made sure I had it first. Everyone liked to joke she was obsessed with her little brother, but no one knew. Through all those nights we only had each other, I had already fallen for Su Wanro. I just never had the guts to say it. So I kept it locked in my diary, or poured it out to my best friend, Song Jingyan. What I never saw coming was that Song Jingyan would go and tell Su Wanro. That night, she came bursting into my room. Stone-faced, she dug out my diary and tore it apart. She threw the pieces at me, and before I could even get a word out, she slammed the door and left. After that, she did everything she could to avoid me. And on the rare occasions we crossed paths, she'd look right through me, like I was a complete stranger. I tried to confront her, but I walked in on Su Wanro pinning Song Jingyan against the wall, the two of them deep in a kiss. Maybe some things are just written in the stars. Me and Su Wanro were never meant to be. All those years in the Su household. Maybe it was all just a dream. It was time for me to get back on my own path. So I made up my mind. I was going home. And I was finally letting go of everything I'd ever felt for Su Wanro. That morning I came downstairs early. My adoptive parents were cheerfully calling me over for breakfast. I gave them a soft smile, sat down beside them, and told them everything. I'd found my birth parents, and I was going abroad to be with them. That's wonderful, Xiaoyu. Mom is so happy you found your real family. Have you told your sister yet? I froze. Tell Su Wanro? Her whole world revolved around Song Jingyan now. What difference would it even make? What did you want to tell me? I spun around, wait, and there she was, standing in the doorway. Nothing. Hey, sis, you're home. That word, sis, stopped her in her tracks. She gave me a long, searching look. When had I stopped calling her that? Was it when I was 18, 15, even earlier? Now I was saying it again, and Su Wanro just stood there, eyes deep and unreadable, staring at me for a long moment. Finally, she dropped her gaze and walked over. She set the gifts on the table and said casually, Mom, Dad, these are from Jingnian. Just a little something. Hope you guys like them. We love it. Jingnian always picks out the best stuff. Did you thank him for us? Wanro, next time you visit his family, bring that tin of red tea from the cabinet, and if you're free this weekend, invite him and his parents over. It was obvious. They were angling toward a wedding. I sat there in silence, watching, as a wave of loneliness hit me. I dug my nails into my palm, then let go. In that moment, it was crystal clear. I was just an outsider. But after this, none of it would be my problem anymore. With that thought, I calmly got up and headed to my room. Su Wanro, mid-conversation with her parents, glanced over, just in time to catch the back of me disappearing through the door. Was it just her imagination? From the moment he got home to right now, he'd only said one thing. That was nothing like the old him. That afternoon, I grabbed my documents and headed to the station to sort out my residency transfer. Coming down the stairs, I spotted Song Jingyan sitting next to Su Wanro, watching her peel an orange with a huge grin. Her slender fingers worked fast, peeling the skin, picking off every bit of white pith. Then she broke off a piece and held it up to his lips. Song Jingyan's cheeks flushed. He glanced at her and gently bit into the orange right from her hand. Su Wanro laughed softly, then pulled a tissue from the box nearby and dabbed the corner of his mouth. Sweet? Song Jingyan nodded and picked up a slice, holding it out to her. Your turn. I watched their little moment in silence, looked away, and headed for the door. Shall you? I turned around. Song Jingyan was waving me over. Wanro's got the day off, Sways. We're heading to the park. Wanna come? You guys are on a date. I don't want to be in the way. We're all family. You're not in the way at all. I've got stuff to take care of. Maybe next time. At my second refusal, the smile on Song Jingyan's face froze. Xiao Yu, are you still mad at me for stealing your sister? Is that why you keep turning us down? I was already into you. You can't steal something that was already yours. That made Song Jingyan's ears go red. Su Wanro laughed and leaned into him. If he doesn't want to come, let him be. Either way, we were headed down different roads now. I gave them both a polite goodbye and walked out the door. After finishing up at the station, I swung by the racing club. The office wall was covered top to bottom, every trophy, every race photo. I stood there staring at it all, hit by a wave of nostalgia and grief. I never thought it'd end this fast. My coach came in from outside and gave my shoulder a pat. 10 years. I'd been with this man for 10 years. That ache I just pushed down came rushing back up. I dug into my palm and took a slow, deep breath. Coach, and I'm leaving the country. They found my birth parents.